Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And Spark are champions! To the Pepe! Goal!
It doesn't get any better than that!
Hello everyone, welcome to the Game in Frame live stream. I'm Josh Pratt. And we're at Roosevelt Island tonight for Zoom Schneider against the Pancyprian Freedoms in the American Premier Soccer League. The APSL has resumed this weekend after the winter break, and at the midway point, the Pancyprian Freedoms and Zoom find themselves in very different situations. Zoom sit at the bottom of the table after the worst fall in their APSL history, but a shock victory over Lansdowne right before the winter break has kindled hopes of avoiding relegation. A point tonight will take Zoom out of the drop zone, although Vistula will be able to respond with their game in hand versus Hoboken on Wednesday. But if Zoom can pull off another shock victory tonight, they'll be guaranteed to stay clear of the relegation zone heading into next weekend. That after Nyack beat Doxa earlier today. But Zoom know taking any points this evening will be an uphill battle against their visitors, the Pancyprians. The National Amateur Cup champions enjoyed a near flawless fall up until their bitter rivals, the Greeks, handed them their only defeat in the final game before the winter break. The Greek victory has set the second half of the season up for another tantalisingly close title race, and the Greeks edged ahead earlier this afternoon with a victory over CPR, where the Pancyprians can regain pole position this evening with a victory, or indeed a point. And certainly on paper, the Pancyprians are the heavy favourites this evening. Out of the last 6 meetings between the sides, the Pancyprians have won 4. There's been 1 draw and 1 victory for Zoom Schneider. But there's a bit of transition in the Pancyprian squad. John Brown, who came back briefly, has gone back pro again. Obviously, he's a miss. No Fatazada tonight. No Rosero. No Bustamante. Or Hoff. So all important members of the team. There is the new signings though in the Swede Ricard Cederberg and the Spaniard Pablo Herrera, who both play with colleges in the area. And for Zoom Schneider, it's quite a depleted squad in this cold evening. Coach Alex telling me a number of sicknesses, as well as some players absent at the moment. Right, they do have the formidable goal scorer of Tomas Andres Gomez in the squad tonight. He's scored 6 for the Pancyprians. They have Joe Holland this evening, who is the 3rd top scorer in the division. It's a tad nippy, I think it's fair to say, this evening. Sitting about 22 degrees, thankfully not too much wind at the moment, although we'll see how that picks up. It can really blow in from the river. Looks like we're going to have a pretty on-time kick-off. We're just preparing for our walkout. The Zoom Schneider team will be in their typical lime green, and the Pancyprians in their typical blue. And guys, tonight's broadcast is sponsored by Salt Athletic, who have made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag. And they're offering the Game Frame community a 10% discount if you scan the QR code. It'll take you straight to the website. You add something to the cart, you will get it 10% off. And then also the Metropolitan Soccer League sponsoring tonight's broadcast with 4 competitive divisions and 90 teams and a pathway to the American Premier Soccer League. There's no better option for New York clubs looking to enter the soccer pyramid than the CSL. Don't go now, guys. We'll be back shortly with the kickoff. Well, both these sides resuming the season at the midway point in the American Premier Soccer League, fighting very different battles. The Pancyprians looking to reclaim pole position in the title race. Schneider trying to claw their way out of the relegation zone. And of course, I'm sure you've noticed that the American Premier Soccer League is a new name. So formerly the APSL, the Eastern Premier Soccer League, but over the winter break, they have gone national and under the new banner of the American Premier Soccer League. Big plans coming for this league. They're looking actively for expansion in the south. A couple of divisions. Wouldn't mind be filming there tonight, I tell you, rather than here. Might be a few degrees warmer. Metropolitan division, first division of the American Premier Soccer League, and just full of so much talent and quality, and has provided drama for 4 years, and this season promising to be no different. James Tristino will get proceedings underway. And we're off. A point for the Pancyprians, and they go back to the top of the table. A point for Schneider, and they are out of the relegation zone. But I think, particularly from a Pancyprians perspective, obviously they'll see this as a must-win game. So few points can afford to be dropped in the Metropolitan Division title race, as history has always shown. As the referee, a little hasty to blow the whistle, might have been an advantage on that. The Pancyprians are going to be in the blue, kicking from right to left. Schneider in the lime green from left to right. Hammered forwards, and Giovanni Cruz will get his first touch. When these two sides last met, the Pancyprians won heavily, 4-0. Cruiser arguably kept it from being much worse, made some really good stops. There's a bit of a Junior Rosero masterclass in there too. Of course, he's absent this evening. Here's Luis Argudo, who scored in that previous meeting with Schneider. And it's such a key part of the Pancyprians, keeping the midfield ticking over. Sloys finding Jordan Bailon, who's going to start in the number 6 this evening for the Pancyprians. Well, that pass cut out, and Urban with his first touch. And not held on too long by Schneider. And a very small pitch here at Roosevelt Island. Has sometimes played in Zoom's favour. They try and cut the passing lanes and just pretty much go into tortoise mode against some of the stronger sides. And despite the overall, I think it's fair to say, abysmal fall for Zoom by the standards they set in previous seasons, they did end on a high note with that shock victory over Lansdowne. Good bit of passing by Zoom. Played into Coke. Koiso. Rubix, who's a new signing for Zoom. His debut in the APSL. Enjoying a spell of possession. And that, if anything, will give Zoom some confidence early on. How many matches have we seen where the Pancyprians barely let the opposition have a touch of the ball in the opening stages? That's a good passing exchange there by Zoom. Diego Hurtado having a little tug at the back of Argudo. Driven crossfield to Forster, who brings it down well. He'll take on Bastian. Took a deflection off Bastian. Be thrown right by the corner flag for the visitors. Cross blocked. And Jordan Balon will restart the play for the Pancyprians. And, I think it's a flat ball. So I was poofed out. Gray, who's another addition to the Pancyprians this season, got his first goal in a blue shirt against Stockshire in the Cup towards the middle of December. Here's Matthew Forster, who are going to have a go at Bastian, who again stands the test and does very well. Koiso doesn't take any chances.
Keep talking to the players in the middle, because if you guys have won, then we should push them up higher.
Sorry, giving it out to the new signing, Cederberg, from Seton Hall, for college at least, originally from Sweden. Jack Sloys and Hinu.
James, that should be you making
And great. Balon had made his way up, but
It shouldn't be you. It
a
should
longer
be
ball
James.
by. Great, not with enough accuracy. Koiso looking for the ball around the corner.
James, look for those. Look for those. Don't just hang out. I need runs.
Argudo. Great.
Get in, Maddie. Get in. Get in.
Out on the right side here with Herrera.
Go, James. Go, James.
Jack Sloy's able to travel up a fair bit, pings it into Hinu. Couldn't quite get his feet sorted out as the ball was fizzed in.
Hey, Thomas, you can't be on your own here. They have it. Thomas, you gotta call somebody back, right? Defensive midfielder.
Hurtado with the flick on. Urban will give it chase. And went down looking for a foul. The referee is uninterested. Josh Levine very bundled up, understandably. A little bit of a pressure put on Cederberg. He dealt with it with composure.
Josh, why don't you get on that? Tell him. Joe, step up.
It's Bastian. He's handled Forster well in these opening exchanges, but it's certainly a long visual to keep watch over Forster, who's been so important for the Pancyprians this last 3 or 4 years. Gets the job done so consistently and very versatile too. Can play in the deeper wing-back position as well as the more advanced forward position. Hino.
Keep the ball, keep the ball.
Sloyes.
Keep it, guys, guys, quickly.
The Pancyprians coach Cronus asking for a little bit more tempo from his Blues.
Keep it, keep it.
Argudo with the clever little dink into Tristino. Gets the give and go. And then poked inside it. And excuse me, it's actually Holland who was out there on the right side. Tristino in the middle. Decent exchange between Holland and the new signing Herrera.
Oh, you're with James now, Joe! You're with James, Joe!
Driven down the channel by Onku.
Simple passes, simple.
Gomez on the back of Sloyes and gets it back to Levine. Jordan Balon. It's a good switch out on that far side. And Herrera looking for a foul and he gets it.
Hey, step up, Louis, step up, step up. Let the center back take it, step up.
Bit of trouble on Zoom's far side. Holland going for the scissor. But his feet got in a bit of a muddle. Holland's been in such good form so far though. In the APSL, 10 goals in full. And plenty of assists as well to his name. Playing in a slightly deeper position this evening quite regularly was in the centre forward position. Went in full. Koiso. Bastion into Hurtado. Holds off the attentions of Hinu. Koiso. There's on Coop. And Hurtado nicely worked by Zoom. That's a hospital ball though, back to Dennis Onku, who had to get that tackle right, and he did. James Tristino bearing down on him. If Onku had mistimed that and brought Tristino down, the referee would have had quite an interesting decision to make on the colour of the card. This has not been a comfortable start for the Pancyprians. Had slightly more of the possession, but very little penetration in these early stages, and Zoom have got a sense of belief about them, and they've penetrated the midfield lines there. Sam Urban. And it's cannoned off the back there by Gray. Thinking to Jordan Baylon inadvertently. Referee rightfully stopping play. Took quite a knock there. I think it's actually Joe Holland who got pinged on the back of the head. Great, finding Cederberg. Argudo, a bit of space on the far side for Hino. But again, I think the field partly working against the Pancyprians, who really like for those diagonal balls from deep positions up to the wing backs. But there's just not that much space wide. Hurtado doing well to break down this right side. Tristino giving him chase. Gomez in the middle. Hurtado cutting between two blue shots really well. Outside the football, Gomez was sniffing around, but Gray poked her foot in. Bastion. Down the channel, here's Coke. Throw in for Zoom Schneider. Bastion. That's a short ball. Holland nipping in that, but couldn't keep the ball in play. Hurtado looking for the foul. I don't think there was necessarily a lot in that. Zoom retained possession on Coop. Worked out on that far left side for Zoom. Sent in towards Urban, who I think misjudged that header. Did find Gomez. And it's back again with Zoom. But then it's lost Joe Holland, and there's a gap here on the left side for the Pancyprians to exploit. It's slotted through. Matthew Forster, first chance of the game, and it's buried by Matthew Forster. An opener for the Pancyprians, who after a slightly sluggish start, strike like lightning. Now all of Zoom's good work in these opening stages undone with one errant pass. Joe Holland seizing upon it. Well weighted ball to Forster, who had one intent in mind. And it's a brilliant finish.
Joe up top. Okay? Joe up top, James on the right, Pablo 10. Joe up top, Joe.
The advantage Pancyprians, who go
James, you're weak.
3 points clear at the top of the APSL Metropolitan division for now. Onku's looking up direct, quite hopeful ball, but Urban got a head on it. Cederberg very alert. Onku, not quite the right ball. Forster, Bastion, and a lot of pressure. Maybe a throw in for Zoom Schneider. Quite so. Soon we'll get the throw in. I think what Zoom have to be really careful of in these next few minutes is just not to concede again. I've seen it so many times where the Pancyprians, once they find that first goal, everything just begins to click and can very quickly pull away out of sight. Bastion. Bit of a melee on this near side. Zoom come away with it. Gomez has some space on the left side. Jinking and turning by the fullback. And that's another good diagonal ball to Forster. Send down the channel. Baylon. Holland. Gets it back quite fortuitously. Baylon. Argudo. Well, back to Hinu. It's good defensive discipline by Zoom. Just to prevent the attack progressing into something more threatening. Hinu drilling in towards Holland. Not sure Baylon was aware what was behind him. Or Herrera even, excuse me. It looks like Tristino's just pulled out to the right side for now. Herrera is through the middle. Holland. It's a good ball out to Tristino. Cederberg cutting down to that byline. The goal kick and the referee just having a word with Argudo and Diego Hurtado. Searching ball towards Urban. Bastion goes back to Onku. Quaso. Argudo nipping away at his heels. Ball went out for a Zoom throw-in. Hurtado. Doing really well to keep that ball under pressure. Here's Coke. Gomez. Zoom's top scorer this season. Been quite quiet in these opening 15 or so minutes of the game. 20 minutes, excuse me. And the flag going up against Zoom. Hinu down that channel. Pablo Herrera racing after Onku shoulder to shoulder. That should be a corner kick for the Pancyprians. And it is first of the evening. Whipped in quickly towards Tristino, who met it like a raging bull. First chance was stopped, but the rebound tucked in. And the Pancyprians double the lead right on the 20-minute mark. It's another assist for Joe Holland, who took the corner quickly. Tristino met it at absolute full tilt. Looked as if that first header might force its way in, but it was blocked off the line. Unfortunately for Zoom, right into the path of Tristino, who could not miss the rebound. It's his 6th goal in the league this campaign. And it is a big, big task now for Zoom to salvage anything out of this game, even this early. Very rare the Pancyprians would give up a 2-goal lead, and they had the best defence in the Metropolitan division thus far this season. Just 10 goals conceded in 11 games. 5 clean sheets kept in those. And that was not the right pass for Zoom. Holland. Cederberg. Another corner for Zoom. Corner's taken short. Joe Holland. Forster towards the far post. Ricardo. Okay, a little touch on it. Balon back into the mixer. And it was met by Cederberg, but he had a lot to do on the edge of the area to try and generate the power necessary. Sloys. Good ball out to Tristino. There'll be a throw for the Pancyprians. Excuse me. Flipped on towards Argudo. Joe Holland, that's a lovely spin. He somehow still got that. Joe Holland! A whisker away from a third and a sure nail in the coffin. Very nearly nestled into that far post. Corneli on coup. Getting just a little bit tight back there for Zoom. Kobe with a touch in the Pancyprian press. Turning over possession. Forster. Another corner for the Pancyprians. There's a slow first quarter of an hour by the Pancyprians. But that one error that led to the Pancyprians first, the counter-attacking goal, just really kicked the Pancyprians into gear. Holland whipping in another really good ball towards that far post, ricocheting around. The referee blows the whistle. Not sure exactly what was the foul there by the Pancyprians. Maybe the referee felt there was a push in the back. Hammered up. Argudo.
Stay deep, Pablo. Stay deep, Pablo. Stay deeper, deeper.
Great. That's a brilliant ball, Tristino. Or Holland even is onside, looking to dink it over Cruz. Another big chance for Holland to make it 3 for the Pancyprians. Argudo. Joe Holland wriggling and turning away from Munoz. Argudo. Or Herrera even piling on that second ball.
Move it quickly. Quickly.
Sloyd.
Get behind.
He knew. Looking for a clever little touch for Herrera in behind. The two not quite on the same wavelength.
Pablo, look for that all the time. All the time.
Just a delay as a Gray ties his shoelace. Just for a second. Well played out there by Cruz. Here's Hurtado. Coiso. Hurtado again. Trying to slot it through to Gomez, but Pancyprian is just too compact in the middle. Here's James Tristino. Herrera. Joe Holland. Onku with the interception. Holland is going to hack it back in once more. It's Devin Hino. That would have been very special on the half volley. Just for a second. He just believed he might find that top corner. Would have been very special if he had have. Would have been a like that Pavard goal scored in I believe the World Cup in 2018. Hino, Forster. All right, lets it run to Holland. Got it stuck under his feet, but no matter for the Pancyprians. It's Jordan Bailon and Tristino. They're in the mood for a third. And it's feeling imminent, but still they must wait for it. Over the crossbar by Tristino. But the back line of Zoom is wide open at the moment. Being opened up just about on demand by the Pancyprians, who once again have got to make that transition without John Brown. Didn't have him so much in fullback for a few games. It was perhaps the biggest thing they struggled with last year. That's a lovely bit of football, very nearly. Good evasive action by Onku, but Zoom cannot get out of their own third. Herrera, Tristino. Just too many defenders around the ball. Zoom can catch their breath for a second. But I was saying, last season, Pancyprians were so reliant on John Brown for the goals in the first half, and then he went pro to Central Valley Fuego and USL. And it's a real struggle for the Pancyprians in spring 2024 to find the breakthroughs. And ultimately that was really what cost them the title most prominently. But they are really looking on form with the attacking right now. Joe Holland got a decent amount of venom behind that strike, but straight down the hands of Cruz. But the football is really clicking for the Pancyprians. Coiso. Finds Andres Munoz. Gomez. That's a dangerous ball. Urban poked a foot out of it. And I think he just missed it. And it was actually he knew right behind him who cleared it over the crossbar. What a chance for Zoom to get themselves back into the game. Super tantalising ball by Gomez across the 6-yard box. And that just needed a touch. But Urban at full stretch can apply the finish. So we'll have to settle for the corner. Urban getting perhaps a little bit too much on it. Hoofed up, and Munoz giving chase. Levine off his line. And it's a goal for Zim Schneider and a way back into the contest. Josh Levine incensed, feeling the offside flag should have been raised. It hasn't. And Zoom, who survived 3 or 4 scares that would have really put the Pancyprians out of sight, have now put it back to a 1-goal margin. There's still plenty to go just in this first half. Have to watch it back to see whether Munoz was on or offside. The Pancyprian certainly feeling convinced he was off. How does that change the complexion? And that's the first card of the evening. Hurtado a little wild with the tackle. Great. To Forster. Hurtado intercepting, but not the right pass. One back though by the Pancyprian, by Zoom even, and Koiso with very nice footwork in the middle. Forced all the way back to Cruz. Koiso again, composed. Well, that's a commentator's curse, then he just went and fluffed the pass. Jordan Bailon. Sloyd finding Hinu's got a bit of space here. Herrera. Holland helping onto Jordan Bailon. And Tristino, he's got lots of options to aim for. Was looking in the direction of Forster. He's going to get it again. And it'll be yet another corner for the Pancyprians. It's going to be a Matthew Forster in swinger. That's a really dangerous ball, getting ahead on it. They had Sloyce right behind him. Waiting hopefully for a chance to get his name on the score sheet. It certainly hasn't lacked entertainment value. Bailon, brilliant ball out to Hinu. Forster, watch closely by Grovic. Argudo. Really good ball round the corner by Tristino. Worked inside. The idea was right. That would have been quite a way for free car rides and apartments and houses. And they're offering a 10% discount to the Game Frame community. You just scan the QR code and add an air case to your car. You'll see that applied. Big thank you to them for being the supporting partners of Game Frame this season. Here's Joe Holland out on the right side. Towards that far post. Herrera! Spectacularly denied his debut goal by Cruz. Point blank. But Cruz acrobatic with the save. Got a strong pair of hands to tip over the crossbar. The Pancyprians pushing hard to re-establish the 2-goal margin. Argudo. Jack Sloyes. Gets it back again from Herrera. And Gray hammering out wide to Hinu. Asking a little bit too much of him. Forster, squeeze it through. Bastian didn't really have anywhere to go after he'd won that ball back. That looked like it came off of Herrera's hand. The referee spotting that. Koiso. Bastian. Keeping it in. Urban so tight though, the space for Zoom. Did manage to win themselves a throw in. Hurtado to Gomez. And the referee feeling as if Hurtado stole a few yards. Coke. Urban back to Coke, and that will be a foul for Urban.
How are you?
Koiso. Overran the ball. And here's Argudo. James Tristino, Holland and Forster in the middle. Not the right ball by Tristino at all. Bastian. Urban. Bastian searching over the top. Very well positioned to police the danger. Balon. Schneider. Hinu. Balon. To Pablo Herrera. And he finds Forster, who sets it back. It's cut out of the front post by Cornel. Corner once again taken short by the Pancyprians. Holland on the angle, whipping it in towards the frame himself, and Cruz opting to punch it. It comes to Bale on the edge of the area, who has another strike. Cannoned off of Cornel. Pancyprians winning it back. Tristino helped on back towards Tristino, who gets it a third time and makes it 3 for the Pancyprians. The 2-goal margin re-established, and it has felt imminent. A third for the Pancyprians. Honestly, the last 15 minutes. Tristino, second of the evening, and again just kept on chasing down the rebounds. Would not take no for an answer. And zoom back to where they started before Munoz gave them some unlikely hope. Argudo, Balon. Onku closing the gap quickly. Bastian. Rubic. Just slightly too much on it for Bastian. Cederberg overran the ball. Back way, so couldn't find Thomas Andres Gomez. Argudo. Forster and Tristino. The Pancyprians going through their gears again. Fired in towards Holland. Lovely first touch. It's a Goma scramble. Zoom able to just scramble that ball away. I think it was Corneli with a crucial tackle to deny Holland, who looked as if he teed himself up perfectly with that first touch. And then Zoom able to just about get those rebounds away from the danger area. Final minutes of the first half. Forster and 2 for Tristino. What has given the Pancyprians their goals, and then Munoz for Zoom. Holland whips it in. His deliveries have been super so far this evening. And he already has 2 assists to his name. Great. His touch was a little heavy, but loose ball come to Tristino. So he's able to find Bale on one by Schneider, and Gomez is going to look to start a counter-attack, not a lot ahead of him. And Levine off his line to contain the danger. A good tackle by Hinu. Forster breaking out. Textbook Maradona, the rest of it already gone. So just to recap again where we are with the APSL Metropolitan table at the moment. The Pancyprians 3 points clear of the Greeks, both on 28, and then Lansdowne. Oh, sorry, the Pancyprians are now on 31, provided they do hold on for the win this evening. The Greeks on 28, and then Lansdowne on 23. They drew last night against Manhattan Celtic. So just 1 point from the last 2 league games for Lansdowne, which I don't think you can say yet has eliminated them from the title race, but certainly the odds are quite long for them to close the gap. Of course, provided the Pancyprians can win this evening. 8 points that Lansdowne would have to close with 10 games remaining. Not unheard of, but certainly a challenge. Of course, all the quote-unquote big 3 will play again in this half of the season. The Pancyprians versus the Greeks is coming sooner rather than later. 2 weeks to be precise. We'll have that back here exclusively on Game and Frame.
Way to go, Lineman. Right on that.
And then Lansdowne will be the penultimate week of the season. I think it's going to be the last game, one or the other. But either way, obviously, even if Lansdowne aren't in the race at that point, it's a good chance could be a decisive match in deciding who does lift the league title. Super ball to Tristino. Bastian coming aside and clearing the danger emphatically. Joe Holland. Dinking in, lovely ball, and Herrera really should have bulged the back of the net there. Found himself all alone and just needed to keep over that ball as he connected. Pace of his run onto it, the ball would have done the rest, but over the crossbar, and he still waits for that debut goal. A couple of good chances to find it. Argudo.
1 minute. Don't give nothing up here. Way to go, Blue. That's it.
Coke. Urban. And he knew a little too enthusiastic with that tackle. There's a little bit of a swinging arm. Also, I think he might trod on the foot. And he knew he was going to get his name added to the book. And I think the Pancyprians feeling rather, the referee gave that yellow because he got a word in his ear. I'm not sure there was many fouls from Hino before, but it's a yellow apiece for each side now. And a free kick and a decent position for Zoom. Right in the stroke of half time. We just had 1 minute of additional. Urban drilling it in. A player went down in the box too, in fact, Tristino. And Hurtado. And the referee going to blow for a foul, and I think that's going to be the half-time whistle, and it is. Pancyprians with the 2-goal margin. It's quite a slow start for the National Amateur Cup champions. Didn't create really anything in the first 10 or so minutes. And Zoom were showing some confidence on the ball, but they lost it in midfield once, and the Pancyprians ruthlessly punished them on the break with Joe Holland and Forster. And since then, the Blues have certainly been the dominant force, and perhaps unfortunate not to have more than 3 goals. And for Zoom, not a lot has been created. One very good opportunity for Urban, which you couldn't quite connect with, but other than that, they had a lot of fortune with the 1 goal they did get. Besides potentially being offside, we should have to watch back, but just the man of the goal was a hopeful ball up, and just bizarre. I think the Pancyprians almost stopped waiting for the whistle, which of course you shouldn't do, but regardless, I digress. Right now, the Pancyprians with the comfortable lead and heading back to the top of the American Premier Soccer League by 3 points. We'll see if Zoom can add any spice to this title race in the second half. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back shortly.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
That's a good bit of footwork there by Spalding. It's gone for a spacious shot! It's magnificent by Spalding!
Yeah, and then I'm going to come up with it. Then go.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Game and Frame live stream. I'm Josh Pratt, and we're at St John's Stadium. It's going to be Spencer Burkhart over the wall. Brilliant! Hoboken level it up. He's gone down. Penalty Pancyprians. Joe Holland beats Borte and re-establishes the lead for the Pancyprian Freedoms.
Joe, congratulations on the hat-trick. Great seeing you.
As a player, I was looking to just have
Well guys, that just about does it for us at St John's. The Pancyprian Freedoms going top of the APSL Metropolitan table tonight. 4-2 winners over Hoboken. Hello everyone, welcome back to Roosevelt Island, Jack McManus Field. The Pancyprians with the 2-goal lead. At the moment going 3 points clear at the top of the table. Odds certainly feel very much against soon, but if they could find the next goal, you never know. But their main problem was just so open defensively on every Pancyprian attack. So it's quite hard to imagine they won't concede another goal unless something drastically changes. Coach Alex giving them a dutiful team talk as James Tristino looks like he's about to freeze in this near side. No changes made by Zoom. They just have 2 subs on the bench and no changes made by the Pancyprians either. I think have 4 or 5 subs this evening. Plays restarted by Diego Hurtado.
Yes, that's it, Pablo. Yes.
And Zoom in need of something remarkable here to retrieve this game against the National Amateur Cup champions. But they did produce something remarkable against Lansdowne before the winter break. Here's Herrera, who made lots of good attacking interventions in that first half. Just lacked the finishing product in front of goal. Could have got himself a debut moment for sure. But perhaps he'll be on the cards for the second half. Cornel. That's a lovely first touch by Munoz. Argudo. Hino. A little bit too much on it for Herrera. Cruz playing quite under a little bit of pressure. Tristino hunting down the ball and yielding possession back for the Pancyprians. Tristino plays it into Holland. Zippy football. It's a lovely triangle. It's Tristino. Look to square it. Just so fortunate that rebound didn't fall to a blue shirt as they steamed into the penalty area. Argudo. Zoom able to get back possession. Grobic, Gomez, that's a lovely bit of play, and Hurtado is in behind here, and the linesman judging that was because he was offside, and in any case it looked as if Balon had made up the distance. Ball cut out in the middle by Koiso. He was immediately sandwiched between 2 blue shirts there. Grobic. Hurtado. Slows reading the pass well, but unable to find the feet of Forster. He'll get it again. Hinu. Dinked in by Urban towards Hurtado. It looks as if Diego Hurtado has gone into the centre forward position now, and Urban now on the right. Driven into Joe Holland by Cederberg. Tristino looks first time to Herrera. Holland drills out on that far side for Matthew Forster. Hinu drives it in. That was a perilous ball by Devin Hinu. Perhaps too much pace in it for his teammates. Oh, and that back post to connect. Looked like came in behind Balon. The Blues were just settled for the throw-in. Herrera watched very closely. And Herrera had a very impressive full 2024 at Adelphi, including 11 goals in 19 appearances. Could be a very useful addition to this Pancyprian side. So again, they're going to have the Greeks in 2 weeks. They've got their other Hellenic rivals, Doxa, away next weekend. And then it's Hoboken after the Greeks. So certainly the tail end of March. It's going to be a tricky one to chew. Hoboken in the heart of the playoff race. Came out of the winter break level on points with Lansdowne and Manhattan Celtic. Both those teams now obviously pulling 1 point ahead of Hoboken with their draw yesterday, and we will actually have Hoboken, whose game, which was a league game, which originally was going to be today, got pushed back due to a cup game to Wednesday night. So we're going to have them hosting Vistula, and that's going to be very relevant for Zim Schneider as well in the relegation battle. They started this evening level with Vistula Zoom, but behind on their head-to-head, as Joe Holland there thought the ball had been played. He was going to get a clear one-on-one. But anyway, tune it back into Game of Frame, and we're streaming everything onto our YouTube channel as well as GameofFrame.com now. Provided YouTube can handle the volume of games we have, which we're going to find out all in good time. We're expecting about 450 this year. Here comes James Tristino surging forwards onto his left foot, reversing it. And it finds Joe Holland, who spins. Took a couple of deflections and Koiso clearing it. So we'll be streaming that Wednesday night game on GameofFrame.com and YouTube. And make sure, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, to give it a subscribe. We have about half of our spring schedule already up on the YouTube channel for you to see, with plenty more games still to be added as other leagues and divisions get their schedule sorted. But it's been a great first weekend of spring here on Game of Frame. MLS Next Games, American Premier Soccer League. We had the first American Premier Soccer League game in history under that name on Friday night in Delaware, and also we've had 4 Cosmopolitan Soccer League games too, as well as a Youth State Cup game. So a little bit of everything on GameofFrame.com, as we like to have it. Sluys. There's a gaping hole in the Zoom defence. Tristino is going to surge right through it, and he's denied a hat-trick by the post. The rebound in, and instead of a hat-trick, it's a debut goal for Pablo Herrera, and surely the nail in the coffin. Unless the referee's been called over to the linesman, and this may be called offside, I think, initially for Balon Baps in the build-up to that attack. Linesman and referee deep in a conference. Zoom are preparing to make the first substitutions of the evening. Tobias Holtz stripped down. Now the referee finished chatting with the linesman, and the goal is going to be given. So it is a debut goal for Herrera. And another contentious offside call. Zoom's gone that first half, also up for discussion. And again, it just all happened so quickly. There's so many bodies around. Have to watch your back to see whether there's any justice in it. Sam Urban's evening is done. And Tobias Holt looks like he's going to go down the middle in place of him. Bastian, lovely touch by Gomez, but then the first touch by Munoz not good. One back by Gomez. Hurtado. He's behind Gomez. Holland. I think perhaps the only question now is how bad is this going to get for Zoom. Herrera. Pancyprians are not showing any lack of desire to further the damage here. Forster. Argudo takes a speculative shot, a couple of feet wide. Not really a threat to Cruz's goal. Coach Krohn is preparing to make a few changes. McGiff stripped down Moreno as well. Hurtado. Coiso. Gets the ball back. Now looks as if a fourth change is going to be made actually for the Pancyprians. And one back by the Freedoms, Argudo. Sharos also coming on. And we'll just get a look in a second. Who are fourth subbers for the Pancyprians. Pancyprians will make their quadruple substitution now. And Jean Towie, the final change, he's going to come on at right back and he'll take this throw, and Zoom also making a change. Nicholas Cifuentes coming on for Munoz at left back. McGiff and find it back to Sharos, who makes his presence immediately felt. the looks of it, Joe Holland has gone up to centre forwards. With Marino now in the number 10. Gomez. That should be a free kick, and it was. He knew. Joe Holland well offside, and he knew it. Quite so. Here's McGiff. Shoros, that's a lovely dink into McGiff, who's onside. Joe Holland with half a yard. Dancing footwork. But Cornell even, excuse me, closing down the angle. Diagonal ball by Gray. Couldn't win that 50-50. Hino overclicked that crossfield ball. Gomez gonna ride all the tackles. Towie. Herrera. Shoros. Pancyprian's patient. Joe Holland. Stopped by Bastian. So the situation now at the bottom of the table is Schneider will stay rooted in 12th place in the relegation zone. Level on points with Vistula, who have that game in hand against Hoboken away, which I mentioned will be streaming on Wednesday night. Of course, Vistula will be up against it to get anything out of that one against Hoboken, who are having their best season yet in the APSL. And then Docks are sitting just 1 point above those two, and then Richmond County 2 points away from the relegation zone. So the bottom four separated by 2 points. It looks like it's going to be one of those who makes the drop. Kids Super then 6 points clear, so it seems like they're probably already safe. Back into Cruz, and that was a little short, the back pass. Joe Holland driving forwards, and I have to say I thought Bastian got the ball there. I'm not sure, maybe it was as a push in behind on him from Coke, which is what has drawn the referee's whistle. Be interesting to see who takes this one. A couple of good candidates. Joe Holland probably forefront amongst them. Scored 2 really good free kicks in full. He knew, and Holland both over it. It's going to be Joe Holland. That was very nearly spectacular. The rebound is going to be tucked home. It's Sharos with his second for the Pancyprians. Joe Holland getting a lot of plaudits as well. That was very nearly a free kick clinic by Holland. Centimetres away. But Sharos the quickest to react. And it's 5 for the Pancyprians, who are in a party mood now. 25 minutes remaining and they are absolutely cruising to the 3 points. A real shame. There's that Holland free kick didn't hit the back of there. That would have really been something special. Certainly a candidate for our March goal of the month. And those goals have made the Pancyprians now top scorers in the APSL. Have 39 to their name. The Greeks 38, and there's still time for more here for the Pancyprians. Lots of time. They're queuing up. It's Joe Holland, and it's 6. This time the ball taking the ricochet off the woodwork he wanted. And it's 2 in 2 minutes for the Pancyprians. And Schneider are already thinking about the warmth of home and getting off this field, because this could get very, very ugly now. Floodgates have truly opened. And that was just far too easy for the Pancyprians. Joe Holland's 11th goal of the campaign, and he may get 12 now. Cruz off his line to deny him. There's just so much frailty defensively in this Zoom team. Again, another really good opportunity at the near post, but it's hard to imagine now, but not so long ago Zoom were regular top 4 contenders. Even towards the latter weeks of the previous season, they were challenging, and the prior seasons they were always making the playoffs. Even made the Metro final in 2022. But this is a team that is just struggling to survive right now in their APSL. And with that 6th goal, they now have the joint worst defence with Vistula as well. Here's McGiff. Towie. And a corner kick. Didn't by McGiff, not a convincing cross. Coiso needed to release that ball, he didn't, and it's Moreno, saved by Cruz. Herrera, a heroic double tackle by Hurtado. the number 7 to stop it becoming 7 goals for the Pancyprians. And thrown off the back there by Sloyes, very cheeky. Towie. Penetrating ball to Balon, who's slipping into the area. He's gone down, and I think it's going to be a free kick right on the edge. I think it's fair to say it should be Holland to take this one, given his last attempt. But there's a couple of players putting their names in the hat. And in fact, Holland standing closer to his own centre circle at the moment. Balon and Hinu over it. Balon put a lot behind it. Foot or so over the crossbar. And guys, a reminder, our Game and Frame exclusive presenting partner for the 24-25 season is Salt Athletic, who have made the world's freshest and most advanced cleat bag. They use the air case uses anti-microbar technology to block smell, making for odor-free car rides and houses. Salt is offering the Game and Frame community a 10% discount as well. Scan the QR code and add an air case to your car, and you'll get that promo applied. Big thank you to Salt for sponsoring us this season, and also the Metropolitan Soccer League is supporting this broadcast as well this evening. Of course, feed into the American Premier Soccer League, 4 divisions, and the winner of Division 1 has the option to join the APSL Metro division. But if you're an amateur or amateur team in the New York area looking to get your start, no better place than with the Metropolitan Soccer League. Joe Holland. Ball wrapped out to McGiff. An ambitious idea by Gray. Really clever touch by Gomez. But just not enough space for Sim to escape. Driven crossfield by Gray. And over the head of Hino, but picked up by Herrera. Not much of a spectacle for the neutral now, this one. Feels more like a training exercise for the Pancyprians. Just in that first quarter of an hour, it looked as if there might be a closely fought contest here. Zim made a decent start, but as soon as that first goal went in, their defence has just been so vulnerable. And it's never really looked particularly doubtful as to the outcome. Koiso. Holtz gives it back to him. Holtz again. Looks as if Moreno is now in the centre forward position for the Pancyprians. Holland dropping back into that midfield. Jordan Bailon. Asked a little bit too much of Moreno. And here's Grobic. Gomez. A rare foray forwards for Zoom. Gomez unable to cut it back to a teammate. We have about 15 minutes left to play here. Coach Cronin is preparing to make his final change of the evening. The Pancyprian veteran Andreas Iosifidis is stripped down. McGiff. Charos giving it straight to Gomez. Cifuentes to Corneli. Joe Holland. One back by Zoom. Cifuentes. Here we go with Hurtado. Koiso. It's a good ball out to Bastian. 3 green shirts to aim for. Dinks it in. And Towie doing enough. Holtz wasn't far away from connecting. Around the head to the 6-yard box. Koiso. Gomez. Hurtado just crowded out by blue shirts. Corneli. McGiff.
Joe, stay up top, Joe. Stay up top. Yes. Go. Hey, close up. 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Go take.
Joe Holland. Looking for Moreno. Onku reading. Lost by Zoom though. Moreno. McGiff. Moreno again, it is offside. Looked very tight. Took the chance well. And Iosifidis also has come on and replaced Jordan Bailon in the midfield. Joe Holland, by the looks of it, has gone back to centre forwards, and here is Holland turning. Still with it, Joe Holland. Good save by Cruz. Holland whipping it. It's another gorgeous ball by Joe Holland. Not such a gorgeous effort, that far post gone over the car park fence. Cruz just doing up his shoelaces. I think perhaps who I feel most sympathy for tonight is Josh Levine, who's hardly had a touch this evening and is looking a very cold figure. And there's the penalty area for the Pancyprians. Mind you, my feet are pretty cold too.
Fuck, I'm sweating.
Levine's going to work it out to the left side for Hino. Herrera. Moreno back into Herrera, and the Pancyprians just opting to keep the ball. Good floated crossfield ball to Tawi. Cuts down to the byline. Far too much on the cross. It will be kept in by Moreno. The Pancyprians will just recycle again. Great. Seeing his name in the stars, but nearly finding them with that shot. Really sent it into orbit, the Scotsman. Coiso. Cifuentes. Coker finding Coiso again, but he's just possessed of McGiff, and Zuma quite short-handed at the back. McGiff taking on Corneal. McGiff onto his right foot. Couldn't wrap his foot around the strike. One straight back by the Pancyprians. Joe Holland. Cruz denying him again with a good stop. McGiff winning it and then going down. And McGiff making clear in no uncertain terms he felt as if there should be a penalty. But play continuing, and Zim looking to go down the other end. Yeah, Syphilis was looking for a run that wasn't quite there from any of his teammates. Pulling up about 20 yards away from Herrera, who was the nearest on that far side. One back by Moreno. Couldn't find a teammate. Here's Syphilis. Not showing any lack of effort with the tackle, even with the scoreline what it is. McGiff. Long adventurous run. And looking for the referee's whistle once again, which again doesn't arrive. Ross. Joe Holland. Give and go. Holland down to the byline. Cuts it back. And McGiff makes it 7. As easy as they come from McGiff. Nicely worked move by the Pancyprians on the left side. And if my count's correct, it's a 3rd assist for Holland this evening. And that's the 3rd goal of the APSL campaign for McGiff. The only good news for Zoom and what's been another miserable evening is they are going to play lower in the table sides, at least for the most part in March. They've got Richmond County next to certainly in the relegation scrap away from home. That's a decent effort by Holtz, searching for the back post. So Richmond County next weekend away for Zoom. Then they have Hoboken back at Rousseau Island. That will be a very stiff test. And then Vistula. That's a true relegation 6 point in every sense of the word. And then Kid Super Samba, who they might feel they can nick something off of. And as I already said, for the Pancyprians, it's both of their Hellenic rivals next. Docks are away a week from now, and then the Greek Americans for a pivotal match in the title race at St John's Belson Stadium. That'll be on Game of Frame Sunday 2 weeks from now. And also should mention, although we weren't quite able to acquire the rights from ESPN, the Pancyprians are going to have Open Cup on the 20th of March on Thursday. So big moment in their history. Once again in there, of course, won it a couple of times in the 80s. And then their league fixtures as well. They're going to have Hoboken after the Greek Americans. So that's going to be a very interesting period for the Pancyprians. If they beat the Greeks, of course, they're going to most likely get to a 6 points gap, presuming they can get the job done against Doxa. That would give them some margin, but Hoboken is going to be by no means a simple task. A lot could change by the end of this month. Here comes the Pancyprians again, McGiff. That's a really tidy finish. Here's Brace. And it is a frightening scoreline. And Zoom's goal difference is plummeted to a frightening degree. It's now minus 28. To put that into some perspective, the next worst is CPR minus 17. Searching ball towards Gomez, who's had a very quiet evening. Coke. Holtz, clever ball around the corner. This could be the moment for Zoom to get a consolation. And it is. And I believe it's a debut goal for Grubic. Just have to double check that number. Might have actually been Holtz who got the finish. We'll just see in a second. And yeah, it looks like confirming it was Grubic with that goal, as Gray is going to go for a power driver from range. And that is that. The Pancyprians cruising back to the top of the American Premier Soccer League. 8-2 winners. Never really looked in doubt once they pulled 2 goals ahead on the 20-minute mark. But the amount of damage they inflicted on Zoom in that second half was substantial. 5 goals in the last 45 minutes. They go back to 3 points clear of the Greeks. But still so much left to right in this title race. Well guys, I think all of the coaches and players are going to run to the car because it's just been so freezing here tonight. So we're going to sign off now. Big thank you to all of you for tuning in tonight. Thank you to our sponsors, Salt Athletic and the Metropolitan Soccer League for this broadcast. And thank you also to Chris Rendon and JP Zucato for braving the freezing cold this evening with me. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone.